Okay. I specifically picked this one right here. This is the trio, a century of American silver dollars. What you have got is a Morgan silver dollar, a Peace silver dollar, and an American silver eagle in brilliant uncirculated condition for $169.95 for all three. $169.95 for all three. And I want to put this down here, and I now understand you only get one trio for $169, right. But I want to show you the reverses. These coins have been individually hand selected. Look at the reverse of those coins. These are, you have to understand, these coins are 100% original. They are not reprinted or restruck or redone in any way, shape, or form. You're basically $59.95 a piece, except that even that's too much. It's less than $59.95. And I understand $59.95 might be a little bit too high for this, but it's nowhere in the ballpark for these. Now, one of the things that you oftentimes see is when someone sells you a brilliant uncirculated coin, they're what we call CU, which is commercial uncirculated, which is kind of industry talk for pretty much uncirculated. These are brilliant uncirculated coins. So they're not these CU kind of slider kind of coins. These are hand-picked, brilliant uncirculated, you know, Mint State 62, Mint State 63, Morgan silver dollars, Peace silver dollar, and of course the American silver eagle that you're going to have in there is going to be significantly gem brilliant uncirculated. I don't think there's any doubt about that. The Morgan silver dollar was last made in 1921. So we can go back up here now. You can look at the faces of these coins. The Morgan and the Peace dollar is going to be from the 1920s. Okay, so these are nearly 100 years old, an original gem brilliant uncirculated condition, folks, and that's $169. I have sold Morgan silver dollars individually, brilliant uncirculated at $169. Matter of fact, I want to look at a nationally advertised catalog. I think they might have the Morgan in here. I know they have the Peace dollar. Let's see, the Morgan and brilliant uncirculated. They have it $110. Okay, for this coin right here. And the Peace dollar, what's that? It's probably going to be about a 1922. Brilliant uncirculated is going to be $90. So they have it for $200 for those two coins. And then you've got this. So we're like, so they're going to be like $250, $260, $270. We're $169.95. $169. Now they just had those as uncirculated. Those could well even be at that $200 or $250, $260 price point. Could still be those CU kind of coins. These are individually hand-selected, brilliant, uncirculated coins. They are then placed into these individual holders that you have right here. Isn't this spectacular? Look at the individual airtight holders placed into the custom presentation box right here. So you put that entire presentation together, and we're at $169.95. Like I said, less than $60 a coin. Well, less than $60 a coin. We're like 57 bucks for original. These are not reprinted, restruck, or redone in any way, shape, or form. This is a sum total of the silver, you know, 90% silver American silver dollars from 1878 until the present. Yes. These are the silver dollars that were made by the United States government. You have the Morgan silver dollar, which was made from 1878. Okay? These were the only three silver dollars, 90% silver dollars that were made during the 20th century. And you have got them right there. And if we go down right there, since they're 20th century dollars, can we go down just a little bit? I want to show you the date on the Silver Eagle there. Since it's 20th century, they are a 20th century Silver Eagle, so it's prior to 2000. So this isn't like a 2017, 16, 15, 14. So the Silver Eagle is at least 17 years old in this. The Silver Eagle's at least 17 years old. So now you have a Silver Eagle that is significantly, substantially rarer. See, in 2008, we kind of had the financial crisis in this country. And all of a sudden, people decided to go to silver dollars, to silver in general. And the production of American Silver Eagles went from about 6 6 or 8 million a year to 50 million a year. So anything pre-2008 always brings a nice premium, particularly coins that are gem brilliant uncirculated. And that's exactly what you have. This coin, what's that? It should be 1999. It should be the 20th century silver eagle. Yeah. Okay, 2001. Okay, so they have the 20th century. So it's pre-2008 is what these coins are all this is all pre-2008 is ultimately what it comes down to. And these are going to be $969 for all 3 coins. Absolutely, positively spectacular on this, folks. We're just going to give you a couple of 3 minutes here. It all came down to me to be able to get this coin.
Gotcha.
That's the coin, the gem brilliant uncirculated that you're going to have there. And if we can go, and these reverses, I love the reverses of the coins too. So often, and when you look at that, you can see that there's very little difference between this coin and a coin that's 100 years old in terms of grade. And that's what we're looking at right there. The grade on this is so substantially important. The fact that these are brilliant uncirculated coins, they're nearly 100 years old, the top 2. And then, of course, you've got the 20th century silver dollar right there in the American silver eagle that goes with that as well. So you get this, and you're getting nearly 3 ounces of silver. This is a pure ounce of silver. This is they're a little, since they're 900 fine, they're a little bit less than an ounce. So you have the better part of a little over 2.5 ounces of silver contained within that. So when you take into account that, you have to understand the melt value, the intrinsic value, just the silver part of this is a substantial part of the $169. Now let's add in, okay, now let's add in the fact that the vast majority of all the Morgan silver dollars ever made by the United States government have been melted down for their silver over the course of the years. The fact that the same exact thing has happened to the peace dollars made by the United States government. Those have been melted down for their precious silver over the years. They become harder and harder and harder to get because they literally get rarer and rarer and rarer with each and every passing year. And anytime you have this incredible pop in the price of silver, which happens on a fairly regular basis, whenever you have that, even more of them go into the smelter. They become literally rarer and rarer and rarer with each and every passing day. So fantastic opportunity. The pricing is the key on this. Like I said, nationally advertised catalog, $110, $90. You're $200 for those 2 coins. We are $169.95 for that coin, and of course the 20th century American silver eagle.
So with us having just a few minutes remaining in the entire show, I want to let everyone know that oftentimes the FlexPay will expire the night of the shows. So definitely keep that in mind as you're placing your orders, because FlexPay is a really beautiful opportunity for you to be able to spread those payments out interest-free over a couple of months. But they do often expire the night of the show. Some of the special pricing will last throughout the birthday months while quantities remain. But with that being said, if you'd like to have this, we are encouraging you to continue to shop, and we